Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Jim Federici. I'm with the Hamilton Educational Foundation. This is Angela Belmont, who's also a member of the Hamilton Educational Foundation. We're here to give you a heads up on our Hamilton Educational Foundation grant program. We would like to ensure that you know that this program is available to all elementary, middle, and high school students, or teachers, teachers. And we'd like to go through the grant itself and what you need to do in order to get a grant funded. All right, I have here a copy of the grant proposal itself. What you need to make sure that you do is that you include the title of the project, the name of the applicant, or names. If you're doing 2 teachers at a grade level or 3 teachers, make sure that everyone's name is included. The school, you must have the signature of the principal or a supervisor in order to submit the grant, so that the school knows, the department knows that a grant is being submitted. Make sure that you have the school address and that you read the certifications of assurances and conditions that go along with the grant.
Okay, so let me just interject. This information that Dr. Federici is giving you today can be found on the Hamilton Township School District NJ.org website. And if you go to the tab that says Community and then click down to the Hamilton Ed Foundation, then you'll see a link that looks like this. This was our award dinner last year honoring Neil Benzavengo and Carol Chacchio, who were the founders of the Hamilton Ed Foundation. And you'll see under grants, under our link, we have the winners from 2021 and 2022 listed. And right after this workshop today, we are also going to post what Dr. Federici is reading from, the application for 2023. So you can start taking a look at what you might need money for your classroom. Go to the website, take a look at the pages as we're going through them, and then we welcome anyone, elementary, middle, or high school teacher or staff member or administrator, to put in for up to a $1,000 grant. So coming up will be the application form that Dr. Federici is referring to.
All right, these are the things that I previously spoke about with regard to the grant itself. It has 10 sections. The first is informational. It informs the Hamilton Educational Foundation grant reviewers information that they need. The points that are awarded begin with section 7, the proposal guidelines, the rationale student needs, 20 points, description of proposal, 45 points, alignment to standards, 30 points, and a budget worth 5 points, for a total of 100 points.
So this is the first section. After you complete the front page, which was what Dr. Federici was alluding to, the principal needs to sign it, everybody needs to be in the loop that you're applying for this grant. This is the first set of rationale or student needs that you'll write. So describe the educational needs of the students that your proposal addresses and how they were identified. So we had a teacher that described a rationale that her students needed more time on task reading, and she wanted something creative to get them to read. So her grant was for boats. She bought big plastic bins and a pillow for each bin and cut a hole in the bin, and they decorated the outside to make it look like a boat, and she ordered a classroom set of books. And this was a creative way to get all the students to read the same book in her class, and she did it as a classroom assignment. So this is just a little description of what's needed in your classroom. Could be a piece of technology, could be some, we had a lot of proposals last year for flexible seating, specifically in some special ed classrooms. So this is where you're going to identify why it's needed in your classroom.
Within your description, include how your proposal is innovative, promotes high student achievement, and can be replicated, a maximum of 2 pages. This description is particularly important to the reviewer, to the person who's reading the grant. We're not looking for something that is run-of-the-mill. We're looking for something that's innovative. And again, the goal is to promote high student achievement. What we mean by can be replicated means that another teacher in another school would be able to pick up this grant and go ahead and do it as well at that school.
Okay, so this is kind of like the meat of the grant. We want you to identify some objectives, maybe 2 or 3 are fine, doesn't have to be like a long list of objectives. What activities you're going to do throughout the grant period, how you're going to assess. And don't think that assessment just means giving a quiz or doing some kind of written assignment. You can just observe the children using the technology or whatever it was that you put in for the grant for. That could be an assessment as well. And also which learning standards they address. Is it going to be in language arts? Is it going to be in guidance, in technology, whatever. So this is kind of like the meat of the grant. And we have an outline where you can list the objectives, the activities that you hope to accomplish, how you're going to monitor, how you're going to assess that the children are actually using the materials, and then which standard it aligns to.
The budget. Describe the budget for your proposal. Include instructional materials, equipment, and other costs. Your total budget may be less than but not exceed $1,000. What's important here, especially when it comes to equipment, is that you contact the technology department to make sure that what you're buying, especially if it's a computer or some type of technology, that it is consistent with what the district is doing, that it fits into the types of materials that the district has committed to purchase, so that you're not buying something that cannot be repaired or could not be cared for. We need a source. In other words, if you're talking about purchasing something, whether it's instructional materials or equipment, we would like to know the catalog, we'd like to know the company that's included, that goes under other, and then of course your cost.
Okay, vendors is an important piece of this. So you can get a list of vendors from the accounting department or the purchasing department specifically. And if you're going to purchase any kind of technology, whether it's an iPad, whether it's a notebook, some kind of calculator, we've given grants for gaming systems that have games that are learning activities as well. You have to get a quote from somebody in our technology department so that, like Dr. Federici just said, and I'll reiterate, we know that it's something that we can support, we can repair, or we can get replaced with an approved vendor. So looking at the vendors and finding what you need in our approved vendor list is a very important piece.
Okay, general guidelines, activities and services for which assistance is sought under this grant will be administered by under the supervision of the applicant. Any funds received under the grant will not be used to supplant funds normally budgeted for the planning of services of the same type. The proposal will be completed within 1 year after the date of the applicant's receipt of the award. Money granted for the award will be for the use of the grantee in the school or department indicated in the application and will be used only for specific purposes of the grant. Funds awarded must be expended within the school year 2023-2024.
So we do not approve grants for, let's say, math workbooks that maybe your principal said you just can't afford through the budget this year. Don't think that you can write a grant and get those same workbooks to use with your students. That's called supplanting. We want something a little more creative, a little more innovative. Unfortunately, we do have some grant money that's returned to the foundation each year. Sometimes some of the amounts were above what it actually cost. Sometimes the teachers did not follow through with the grant, and so we get some money back. So it's important that as soon as you get the money, and here's how you get the money. The applications for this year's grants are due September 15th by 4 p.m. through our district email site, through the Hamilton Ed Foundation email site. Within 2 weeks after that deadline, there will be 3 people from the foundation who will read through all the grants and score them. And then approximately a week after that, the recipients will be notified via email. And then sometime in hopefully the end of October, maybe even beginning of November, they'll be recognized at a school board meeting. And as soon as the grants are awarded to the teachers, we send a check for the total amount of all the grants. It's been as much as $17,000. It's been as low as $11,000 some years. We send a check to the accounting department, and Kim Rizzieri will set up an account with that amount of money for you, and then you go. Like as of November 1st, you just start spending the money and get it done as quickly as you can. So you have 1 full year in order to spend the money. We don't like getting the money back, so we want you to spend the money on the really cool activities that you put in for with the grant.
Okay, within the grant itself, we prefer that the applicant be anonymous. No references should be made to the name of the school or the department, or using the individual's name, especially in the proposal. Responses should be within the amount of specified space on each section of the application. Please do not go beyond the number of indicated pages. The application must be keyed into Google Docs form on our website. Angela, this is something new this year, correct?
It is. So we have transferred, I guess maybe it's not the right word, but we've changed the grant from a Microsoft Word document over to a Google Doc. So everyone has on their Google Drive, you can pull it down. We might even share it with everybody at some point through Laura Gelch's office. We might just share the application with everyone. But you can pull it down from the Hamilton Township website through the Hamilton Ed Foundation link, and you can pull the Google Doc right from there and then just start typing right inside the form. So it's a little different because it used to be a Word document, and now we've changed it into a Google Doc this year.
Okay, as Angela has already said, the application is due September 15th, and the grant winners will be recognized at a Board of Education meeting, and applicants will receive notification via email.
Okay, we have the 2021-2022 winners already posted on our website, and you can see the name of the grant and a little description of what the teacher did with the money. We are going to also post this year for the first time samples. I have 3 approvals from 3 of the grant award winners from last year gave me permission to post their grants. I redacted the school and the name, etc. And so you will see samples of grants that have been awarded just this past year. So I'm going to post 3 of those on the Hamilton Ed Foundation link as well, hopefully by the end of May. And then you can use these as a guide when you're doing on why reinvent the wheel. Just use those as a guide when you're doing your own grant. And another thing, so now we have had some teachers who have applied for exactly the same thing because they need more, like flexible seating. They got 2 pieces of furniture one year and they applied again the very next year. The grant was terrific the first year, so it was really good the second year as well. We couldn't not give it to them. But now we're putting in a little caveat. If you've already received money for one grant and one particular activity or set of activities, you can't put in for the exact same thing again. Now the teacher is welcome to put in as many grants as many years as he would like, but not for the same thing as you've already been awarded a grant for in the past. Any questions from anybody about what we've gone over today? So this presentation by Dr. Federici and I will also be posted on the link, the Hamilton Ed Foundation link of the district website. So for those of you who couldn't make it today, feel free to go to our link and you can watch this whole presentation. So thank you for your time. We appreciate, we look forward to getting lots of grants and giving away lots of money this year. And if I could just give a reminder to everyone, our event, which is going to honor the Teachers of the Year, is going to be May 9th at the Stone Terrace. You have received an invite, and the Teachers of the Year from each school in the district have received a personal invite. And Laura Gelch's office is also going to send out another reminder to everyone. Tickets are only $50. We would love to see everyone come and support the 24 Teachers of the Year from Hamilton Township.
And this is a
on May
big
9th.
fundraiser for the Hamilton Educational Foundation.
And this is where we'll get the money from this fundraiser to give back to you for all of the grants and our student scholarships as well. So please consider joining us on May 9th, 6 p.m. at the Stone Terrace.